All right, guys, check it out. T.O. went off on ESPN last night, and just like I told you, them blowing stuff out in proportion, and I'm glad they're seeing it. So it's a long clip. I got it from DCFanatic.com. This is from though InsideTheHuddle.com, the people who I upload videos for every once in a while. So that's why you got to check out that show on Tuesday nights. But here's the clip. I guess I'll talk through it because it's pretty long. But
my name is Steve Dennis, and the very first thing I do every week
There
is
you go.
welcome all you and thank all you for coming out to the House of Blues to enjoy the Inside the Huddle program. And now I get to introduce the star of the show, and this week, here's how I have chosen to do it. Everybody else in the sports world is talking about him. Here on Inside the Huddle, we get to talk with him. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Terrell Owens. Hello, Terrell. How you guys doing? Boy, it's a shame we got nothing to talk about tonight, isn't it?
Exactly.
Right.
What are we going to come up with?
I'm pretty sure we can figure something out.
All right, let me get this out of the way. I'm sure you are hip to this. The Cowboys lost. First time this year to the Washington Redskins. We'll
I
get
could have
into
smacked
that a
him
little
there.
bit. But, man, I got to tell you, Terrell, you are amazing to me. Nobody can whip up a media frenzy like you can in this entire country by what you say. In fact, that would be scary. Don't say anything about the election. I'm afraid you would sway it one way or the other.
I totally
That's true.
agree.
Don't say nothing about Obama.
All I can really tell
okay.
you guys is my mom said I was going to be a special kid when I was little, and she's been right so far. So other than that, man, it's just it's a lot of stuff being blown out of proportion, and I've gotten this far, just working hard and obviously speaking my mind, and with the press conference after the game, I felt like I really said nothing wrong. And I think obviously it has something to do with the political race, the campaign going on. I think ESPN, their ratings are really down. So anytime that I say something, I mean, obviously the ratings are going to pick up this week. So, I've been tuned in a little bit myself. So, you got a few guys up there that likes to talk, and you got a couple of receivers that have also been in this situation and played this game. And, we got Sheeshawn. He has had some things to say. Chris Carter has had some things to say, and obviously Tom Jackson and the whole crew. But other than that, man, I'm very confident in what we're about as a team. I think no matter what, I think the guys in the locker room are the only ones that really matter. I'll be the first to tell you we didn't play our best brand of football on Sunday,
No.
And that was all the way across the board. And I think Coach Wade kind of echoed some of those same things. We didn't play well in the special team game. We didn't play well offensively, and we didn't play well defensively. And when you not playing well in all those phases of the game, then it obviously results in a loss, as you saw on Sunday.
And we will talk about all of this. We promise you an entertaining show like every week. Terrell's got a special guest that will join us in the second segment of the show. And I hear, although he doesn't show it in the locker room, that he's a very entertaining guy. We will delve into that. But can I ask a couple of questions that sort of separate fact from fiction? Can we get that out of the way first?
Hey, anything goes on my show.
That is our rule. Anything goes between Terrell and I on this show. Okay. Fact or fiction, you did talk to the quarterback, Tony Romo, and voiced displeasure to him about you getting the football.
Fiction.
Never had a word with him about it.
I have not, and I heard some of those comments, and I don't know where they came from. Obviously, you have media sources or whatnot that comes up with these type of things. But
They make it up.
We haven't spoken about
They make up the news.
Not the game, not any of my comments that were said after the game. And the thing is, everybody is throwing Romo's name into the mix, and I never mentioned his name. All I ever said was, I feel like I needed some more opportunities to help this team win. If you follow my career, my involvement on the offensive side of the ball really bodes well because, like I said, I know what I can do. I know my role. If I'm not catching the ball, I know there's double team swayed my way that allows other guys to be open, just as you saw in the Green Bay game. And I've said time again, I don't have a problem if we're winning football games, but I feel if there's a situation where I can, get more touches or involve myself a little bit more either earlier or at some point during the course of the
Makes
game,
sense.
then it helps the team as a whole. As you saw, the first half was kind of stagnant, and then, in the second half we came out. I got a few balls, and we moved the ball, and we went down and scored. So other than that, it's just me really being confident in who I am. That's probably not going to be the last time you hear me say that I need the ball a little bit more. But I'm a competitor. I want to win. Jerry Jones brought me here to help this team win, and I feel like I'm one of the captains and I'm one of the leaders on this team. So I voiced my opinion. At the same time, I voiced my opinion, being careful and mindful that some things may be taken the wrong way. And in this situation, I know my teammates back me. There's no sense of panic. We won 3 games. We've lost 1 game. It's not like we're 1-3. There's a whole season ahead of us, and I think the fortunate thing for us, if you can find any positive out of a loss, is that we lost early in the season. But at the same time, that we're going to go back to practice on tomorrow. We're going to regroup as a team, and we're going to be fired up. We're going to be ready to go for the rest of the season.
All right, question number 2. I have been finding out from some of your teammates how hard you do take losing. So this question is, your comments after the game, were they more about frustration right after the game because you lost the game, or do you have a problem in general with what the offense is doing right now?
No, I think it's number one, just the frustration of us losing to a division opponent. I think any time you play a division opponent, especially in our division,
it hurt for us here at YouTube too, T.O.
At the end of the year, it's going to shape up, to one of these 4 teams out of the NFC East. When you're playing these games, you're playing for home field advantage. Obviously, we play well on the road, but anytime that we can play at home and don't have to really travel, then that bodes well for our team. So it's all a matter of just being frustrated about the loss after the game. It has nothing to do really about the offense. I think with the weapons that we have on this team and the offense side of the ball, we can move the ball at any given time. We're just not executing like we should.
And you do know how many passes were thrown your way, don't you? I mean, there was quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I think if you break down the film, if you look at ESPN and you look at how they slice and dice things up, they're going to show passes that I should have caught. If I look at those 2, that's going to bode negative on me because, I should have caught 1 pass, the one on the sideline of the Redskins. Other than that, you got to look at the whole scheme and look at the whole picture. If I was,
another one, but
on ESPN,
I
could slice it and dice it and make myself look good, just like they made me look bad. But I'm not really worried about it because I know the business of how this editing and all that stuff goes.
Yep.
I think it's kind of funny that Marion Barber had 8 carries. If he talked to the media, he may have really had something to say.
I had something to say for Marion Barber.
I think with this offense, we know we have a strong running game. We have 2 capable backs that can really tote the ball, and that's Marion Barber and Felix Jones.
Yes, we do.
Myself, when we're out there, I can't really complain about the plays that are coming in. You just go out there and you just run them and you try to make the best of those opportunities. Obviously, for whatever reason, Coach felt the need to call the pass plays, and we kind of bend in the run a little bit. But, I'm all for running the ball. If I can go out there and spring those guys to get in the end zone, I'm going to do whatever I can, to block for them and make that happen. But that wasn't the case on Sunday.
All right, now you have been involved in some things in your career that got some media attention. Would you rank what's happened in the last couple of days in terms of overreaction? The biggest overreaction of any situation you've been in on a national scale?
Well, I think if you take ESPN out of the mix, then I think it's an overreaction now, especially, from the production on that side and the guys that are on the panel. You listen at some of the things that Sheeshawn has to say.
Sheeshawn.
Chris Carter has to say. You listen to what Tom Jackson has to say. Everybody weighs in and they have their opinions. If you look at at Sheeshawn, who was the number 1 pick, he's the ultimate underachiever, on that panel. You look at some of the things that Chris Carter had to say. I agree. I would agree with one thing that they say, that Jerry Rice is the best receiver. He's number 1. Right below him, I'm second all time behind him. So other than that, those two guys, they mean.
Gotta watch out for Randy if he gets a quarterback.
By the way, that's 3 times we heard Sheeshawn. That's 3. I do find it a little amusing. What was the name of his book?
Oh, yeah. You have a guy that says, write a book, give me the damn ball. But at this time, we were drafted. He was the number 1 pick in the draft class that we were drafted out of. And I'm still playing and he's not. So he's weighing heavily on some of the things that I'm saying and I'm doing. He's on the panel with the Sharks. So He's doing his job, and I'm the reason why he's in the booth.
And I could only.
I think everybody's aware here that when I was being brought to Dallas, he was the one that they let go to bring in. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of bitterness, on his behalf.
It's funny. I can only give my point of view. I mean, I'm not quite sure I'm convinced your comments after the game was the smartest thing in the world to do, because you kind of knew all this would happen. But doesn't ESPN almost make it seem like it's personal? Somehow, what they did for Monday Night Football in 30 minutes, all of it. I mean, how did you react to...
Dude, I said it earlier in the show. I mean, the ratings are probably down. Everybody's really...
They need T.O. talk.
Everybody's tuning in to the Obama and Palin and McCain. Everybody's in tune with what's going on there. So,
all right, final question then on this, and unless I sneak in one or two later. My question is, why would you give them the ammo? Because
they're gonna
that
take
a lot
the
of
ammo.
people out there are sort of anti-T.O. There's a lot of people
they're
in
gonna
this
take
town
the ammo.
who swore 3 years ago that you would destroy this football team, and they just want to say "I told you so." They won't leave that argument alone. Why would you give those people
take
the ammo? Why, after a loss,
used it last
would
year.
you come out and come off sounding a little selfish about what happened with the offense? Why would you do that?
Well, it's not a matter of me being selfish. I think, everybody can weigh in and give their opinion, but I know what I can do when I'm on that football field. I think I know what I can do when I'm involved.
I think we all know that.
And I don't think it was a concerted effort. Everybody's saying that, they changed
Without
the game
T.O., we don't make the playoff.
Get the ball to me more. As again,
We're at least
I would
third
say,
or maybe fourth in the division.
If you look at the way they
T.O.
sliced and edited the film, and everybody talk about the number of passes that were thrown my way. If you go back and look at the film, there were some passes thrown my way, but a number of those passes were thrown away because of maybe pressure, coverage. There were some passes thrown high, low, whatever the case may be. Every pass that was thrown my way, it wasn't a valid catchable pass. And that's not to say anything about Tony Romo. Like I said, we all are not perfect. Mm-hmm. If you're out there, if you're playing baseball and you're a pitcher, you're not going to throw a strike every time. If you're out there shooting basketball, what basketball player have you seen, that played a perfect game, shoot 100% from the field? So I'm no different than any of these great athletes that go out there and try to perform on any given day. I'm not going to be able to catch every ball that's thrown my way. So that's just the nature of it.
All right, that right there is why you should listen to Inside the Huddle. In fact, you can listen to it live on InsideTheHuddle.com, streaming through Ustream.tv. We've got a live chat room going on tonight. It's a debut here on the Force Show of Inside the Huddle. We'll take some questions later from people in the chat room. That's why you should listen to this show on Live 105.3, and it's why you should come to the House of Blues every Tuesday, because there's no holding back. How'd he do? Did he explain?